is that? Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god!
And if you found this recording, you have to share it, or it'll be after you too.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to an episode of Found Footage Fridays, a series where we're talking about found footage on a Friday with my co-host, Mike and Serial.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Found Footage Fridays. Hope you're having a great Friday. Hope it's even better now that you're listening to us.
All right, so here's the thing. We're talking a new found footage movie today, done by filmmakers that I adore. This is on Found TV as well, but we're going to be talking about the 2025 found footage movie Wilderness Tapes Volume 1. Short synopsis: nearly 1 million smartphones and cameras are lost in the wilderness each year. For the first time in history, recovered footage from such devices is broadcast in a chilling anthology series.
Yep. And when they say anthology series, they mean just that each volume is a story. So this
Yeah,
isn't like your multiple segments
in
in
one
one
go.
movie.
Yeah,
This is a volume that's
yeah.
going to continue.
It's I would say the narration part is giving unsolved mysteries.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That 100%. I
Yeah.
think that's exactly what I was thinking of too. And then I have another reference point that I'll get to. But
Okay. Well, I know you're excited to get to talking about this one. So, unspoiled thoughts on Wilderness Tapes, Volume 1.
all right. So I think we're going to kind of do somewhat of a tandem conversation of our unspoiled thoughts because I think this is absolutely funny. Listeners, Angel already told you she is a fan of this team. I believe the director's name is Brandon
Brandon.
Walker.
Yep.
Uh, and they have done Himalaya, which
Is
I
my
was not
favorite
a
thing we've ever covered.
fan of for many different reasons, but Angel really enjoyed it. They have a bunch of other different movies, and I would say the Wilderness Tapes Volume 1. I actually really enjoyed this. I think this is their second best film behind Ghosts of Hiroshima. I think that's their best film. This, to me, is their next best film. I enjoyed the storytelling. I enjoyed Prospector Pete, who is our main protagonist. I think he tells the story well. I find him to be, I don't want to say captivating. I am enamored by him, but he's very subtle. Uh, and what I also really like about this movie, I try not to always compare a movie to another, especially indie films. But
Mm,
this isn't a shot for shot remake of a movie.
mhm,
I will say this definitely gave me the vibes that I like and feel from the Horror in the High Desert series. I think it definitely you're following that one person. For me, it's Cap. He's charming in a very subtle way, in the same way that the first Gary was from Horror in the High Desert 1. I enjoyed his performance. I enjoyed where we went. Um, Again, this is super low budget, so in this particular case, the cheesier graphics that we kind of got didn't put me in a bad mood. I wasn't unimpressed by it. I actually didn't think it was that bad. Uh, Again, I am personally a fan of this movie. How say you, Angel?
I cannot sit here and believe that you just compared this character to Gary from Horror in the High Desert 1. Ugh!
Because they're
Okay.
both, when we follow main characters, they're usually like big personalities. Like you
Yeah.
have to be a big personality to hold a whole movie for your own. In these particular cases, they were not that. He is not the same as Gary,
No, sure.
but I find their subtle mannerisms and the way that they go about similar. And that's why I kind of compared them.
I didn't like this one. I'm thinking. I was not engaged with this character at all. I love everything that this team has done. Stay, Ghost of Hiroshima. I really liked Himalaya. I think Stay is still one of my favorites. But I was very excited about this because I knew they had projects coming down the pipeline, and I was like, okay, so this is like a volume one. But then this guy comes on camera, and I was like, oh no, I'm familiar with him. I've seen him in other stuff. And you know what it reminded me of? At least it looks wise. Briefly, I thought it was actually the guy from what's that other one I hate that everybody loves? The funny one that's like Evil Dead.
Deadstream?
Deadstream. So he reminded me of the guy with Deadstream, and I hate that movie. So that didn't help either. But no, I thought this was boring. Like I was so bored. Nothing happened. When it did happen, I was already so disengaged that like I didn't really care. I have spoken before about Southern accents and the way that people with Southern accents are portrayed, and I struggled with that. I don't even know that this guy's actually a Southerner. Maybe he is. I'll spare myself the embarrassment of saying otherwise because I don't actually know. But all of that and the way the whole concept of like, oh, he's out here doing this because he's like a recovering alcoholic. I was like, what? And I didn't buy the story. The trinkets he finds, I didn't they like there was like I feel like it just was so obvious. It was just put there 5 seconds before he goes to find it. I didn't care about like what he was doing. I don't know. Like when you're doing like one person found footage, they have to be important and they have to be captivating. And it's great if it works for other people, but I did not care about this character at all. Nothing that he had to say, nothing he was going through. I think the conversation around like, oh, he was a recovering alcoholic and he's like explaining that it may sound crazy that I'm out here, but it actually feels really healing to me. I think was meant to connect you to him and make you be like, okay, that didn't work on me. Um, and I just did not like him at all, and because he's the only freaking thing on camera for the entire length of this, I was like, "Oh, no." So, this was a rough watch for me. I did not want to finish it, but I had to because we're covering it. I do like the premise. I think the premise is cool. I don't want this guy to return in future ones. I do not want him back. I don't want his character back at all. But I think that the Unsolved Mysteries guy was cool and kind of goofy. And I think I'm hoping because they did, the Himalaya, my hope for the series is that they'll get to cryptids eventually. And maybe by then, maybe get a little bit more budget behind them so they can do, something even more with that. But ultimately, I really, 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 really did not like this one. It was such a dull experience for me. I was not creeped out. I wasn't unsettled. I wasn't engaged. I didn't care. And that's not super easy to accomplish. I feel like I'm not like, I know I'm harder to please in a lot of ways in terms of movies than some people, but I feel like that specifically, I don't think I'm that hard pressed on because I watch goofy stuff. I watch stuff that's like, but this was a no for me. And I was so disappointed because I love this team like so much. Like I've practically begged them in email to like let us interview them. Like I love them. But this one, I'm like, where's our girl? Can we bring her back? Is she coming back? Like, what are we doing? Like if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Um, that's what real Southerners say. And so anyway, so I don't know. I didn't like this one. What do you rate this?
I enjoyed this one. I am giving it a 6.5 out of 10 tapes.
Okay, 6.5. That's not deplorable. I can work with that, Mike. If we could survive the remakes live, we could survive anything. Mike threatened to quit the show on our remakes live.
3 times.
3 times. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this I'm going to be generous and I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I really don't want to rate it that high. But I just love these filmmakers. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do anything lower than that. But the character was my biggest bugaboo. I did not care for him pretty much on any level. And so that is my very depressing score for the Wilderness Tapes Volume 1. I'll still watch the rest of them because I'm hopeful. But this one was not a win for me. So, all right, spoilers. There's not much
So
to
there's
spoil, I don't
there's
feel.
really
But
not too
if
much
there's anything
spoilery
you want to talk
stuff.
about, yeah.
Kind of like finalish type of thoughts. And again, and it's totally fine. We've talked about this so many times of
Yeah.
if you relate to a character for a particular reason and
Mhm.
someone else doesn't, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think you and I are very opposite in this particular case.
Mhm.
And I do think part of the reason why I did find him, I'm just going to use the word captivating because I can't think of synonyms.
Yeah.
Um,
This is our
but
4th episode in a row. You're allowed to.
the the relatableness is
Mhm.
I did enjoy his talking about being a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
I won't I don't use the word alcoholic, but I am 4 years sober. So I found that very easy to connect to with him and why people choose to go out into the wilderness or go into places where they can self isolate themselves and
Yeah.
reconnect and reconvene with themselves. So I understood where he was coming from.
Okay.
I loved him at, and I think too, I have a cousin who I was very close to growing up who was a Boy Scout, and he kind of reminded me of him as well.
Oh,
Um,
okay. This is
he
a totally
just,
different experience for you. Yeah.
yeah, like this character, I really enjoyed him. I saw a lot of people in him. So I
Yeah.
think that's what made it easier for me to care about what he was doing and his safety in this movie. Um,
Yeah.
we get to a point where we do start getting into the hauntedness of these caverns, uh, ghosts and stuff. But I just loved how knowledgeable he was because he kept finding things when he was showing about the golds. Like,
Mhm.
I again, he reminded me of someone that I'm close to,
Mhm.
and how knowledgeable they are about everything around them in the world.
Mhm.
So I connected to him, and I think that's why I did enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Again, because I will say, because I reviewed this on Letterbox, I wanted to see what other people were saying. I will say I saw a lot of people that gave this like in the same range that I did. They enjoyed it. They enjoyed him. But a lot of people did have the note of it was kind of on the duller side.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I don't know what it was about this being kind of subdued that I enjoyed. Maybe it's because I was expecting Himalaya level of wackiness.
Yeah. They got
Uh,
range. These filmmakers got range.
yeah, and they went this route, which,
Yeah.
and maybe that's what it is. I kind of like
Yep.
their lower energy that they're giving.
Yeah.
But I can see if there's people who did not enjoy this,
Mhm.
I can see it. This is not going to be the ones where I'm like, no, like you didn't get it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
g- I get I
Well,
definitely get why it's not for everybody.
and
But
I like that you explained it the way you did though, although now I feel like an asshole. But I like the way you
no.
explained it though, because the whole thing is like, and that's why we do enjoy these conversations so much because we really do just see things so differently. It doesn't even matter if we like the same thing. Like we could
Yeah.
give the movie like Mom was a perfect example. We gave it the exact same score, raved and raved and raved, got two completely different things of it. And I think that ultimately if I were a filmmaker and I was listening to someone talk about something I created the way you just did, I would feel so good about that because I think that's something that has to work. And I think it is harder to do in found footage. I think it's harder in found footage to create a relationship between the viewer and the person in front of the camera or holding the camera or whichever way you want to look at it. And so for them to be able to do that, and I don't have those experiences. The addiction runs very deep in my family. So Angel stays away from literally everything, everything, because I'm so scared. So, but I think that like those experiences have deserve a space. And so I love the way you put the connection there and being able to see, like you said, you also see like someone that you're really close to in him. And I think that that's a really important thing when you're talking about films. Like it's there is something there for every I don't think I would ever say any like very rarely am I like, please do not watch this film, right? That's not
Right.
something like, and that's the reason because you never know what a viewer is going to feel or connect with. You never know. And
Yeah.
it's like, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. And I love the way you said that. I think it's important. And like I said, I think if Brandon, could you reply to our email, please? I'm just saying, Brandon, if you watch this, I think that's going to be very meaningful to him, is my point, and to the team, because that's special. And I think that I'm glad that you put it that way, because that does make me have to rethink it, like the isolation part and the way you said about reconnecting. I mean, seeing what family members I know have gone through, they didn't reconnect with anything except the bottle. But I'm just saying in general,
Not nothing.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, no, you gotta have a sense of humor about it. But it's meaningful. And I have to say, I'm proud of you, and I'm really glad. I love the way that you said that. I think that that's really important. And now I feel like a jerk. So
No. Because, like you said too, but it's the same thing as we have no idea what the person's gonna take out of it and why it's important.
yeah.
Perfect examples, like when we know that there are people who do not enjoy some of the stuff that we like, and
Mhm.
I will use perfect example. I met someone who does not like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I just think that's all kinds of crazy in general.
They should
However,
have to wear tinfoil on their head. Go ahead.
but they also are the type of person who probably did not have to understand a lot of the characters and why so many
Yeah.
of us, specifically millennials,
Hmm.
gravitated
Especially
to
queer
so much of
millennials.
that show.
The pipeline to that
Like,
is crazy, by the way. uh,
so,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
definitely, you never know why someone will or won't relate to something. And
Yeah.
again, it was the same thing, like, we've talked about other movies where you had that level of, like, connection to it, and
Mhm.
I didn't enjoy the movie, but after hearing you, I'm like, "Oh, I love this interpretation of it." More than likely, I'm still probably not going to enjoy this, and I feel
But
the same, but there's a different understanding to it now.
yeah, I
Like,
think that's
there's a
important.
different
I
perception,
like
and I
that.
love those things,
Mhm.
because it's I don't expect you now to be like, "Oh, you know what? This was great, 10 stars."
No, for sure. But at
Yeah,
the same time, you can appreciate it on a different level. And that's why we always create a space when we're talking about movies, whether it's just the two of us or it's other people or whatever, where we do want to have the talks about the differences, because it really can give you a different perspective on things that you didn't think about before. And it, like you said, it doesn't mean it's going to change your opinion,
yeah,
but I think we are victims of our own circumstance. We only know what we know, and we're not always, even the most self-aware, even people who go to therapy, even people who overcome all these things, you're not always able to look outside of that. And I think that's why these conversations are so beneficial. And that's, I mean, and this is a perfect example of that. Like, I didn't think any depth was in this at all. And then you spoke about it the way you did, and I'm like, well, that's fair. That's a valid point, and I can see that being something that could be really meaningful to people, and maybe even oddly hopeful. I mean, I know it's like a found footage horror movie, but it's a very weird feeling when you can see something or someone that you connect with on screen. It does feel validating, and it does make you feel a little less alone. And I think that that is why these conversations have to happen. That's why we do a lot of what we do.
yeah. And I think too, what we kind of both said at some point throughout this episode, no matter what, with however we took this,
Yeah.
we're both interested in the next
Oh, yeah.
volumes.
This is a cool
Like,
concept.
because the one thing I will say that I do highly, highly remember from our Himalaya discussion, because we were so far off,
Could
what
not
I
be
do
further apart.
remember saying though was no
Uh-huh.
matter what, even though I did not enjoy that one,
Mhm.
I love the fresh, bold takes that this team has, their innovative ideas, their
I know.
creativity,
I agree.
their
I
makeshiftness.
agree.
They create things, they create so much around them of their own stages and settings and stuff. And I enjoy the team
Yes.
all the time. I may
Yeah.
not always enjoy every movie, but
Yeah.
I
I know.
enjoy the team behind it.
Yeah.
And I will watch whatever they put out, even if
I
there were
feel
like
the
4
same.
movies in a row that were misses for me, and they're like, "We got 10 more coming up." I'm watching all 10.
Yeah, I
This is
agree.
a creative group to watch.
And they don't use AI.
That part.
Because the last time I said that about a found footage movie person, anyway. Yeah, and so I do hope that I'm looking forward to whatever they do next because I do think these are going to be like boom, boom, boom. I think there's going to be because the last time Brandon responded to us, he was saying like, yeah, we're doing a bunch of things right now, and so I
Yeah.
think it is going to be boom. My hope is that we will get a cryptid. Mike just asked that there's no garage shots, please. And other than that, I look forward to what else they do because you're right, they're so unique. I mean, Stay had this like underground, well, I'll spare, I don't want to say too much because just in case somebody wants to go see it, but the mannequin one, which is Stay, was really good. And
Yeah.
even Ghost of Hiroshima, I was captivated by, and Himalaya was just fun for me. There wasn't a lot of depth in that for me, but I love cryptids, and I'm like, Yeti found footage. Are you kidding me right now? Absolutely check and check. So I really had a lot of fun with that, and conceptually, I think this is exciting. I'm very
Yeah.
excited about what's next to come. So either way, I love these filmmakers. I'm ready for the next one, whatever that is.
Yeah. Volume 2, please come out
Volume
in
2.
2026 as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. So, well, cool. Well, that was a very insightful conversation about a movie that Angel shit all over. So I'm sorry. I'm done. Okay. All right. Anyway, thanks. This is going to wrap up this week's episode of Found Footage Fridays. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you've seen Wilderness Tapes, let us know what you think in the comments. What side of it do you fall on? Did you rate this higher? Are you hesitant to see it? Have you seen the other films? Load us up with all kinds of information in the comments. We want to hear from people, so let us know. I don't know what we're covering next. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it because we do these way ahead of time. But hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week when you get to it, and Mike and I will see you next week.